Autobots, transform and roll out!
Hey guys, this is Tom here with a review of the KO Menasor and Defensor. It's the mashup between the two. It's one of the products they sell on Sir Toys. He's got the entire team up there. I ordered it about a week ago. No, it was 2 weeks ago, and he shipped it out pretty quick. If you can see, they are actually pretty decent. I also have his the KO aerial bots, the Uranus KO, and that's a little crooked, but they are pretty darn cool. They did a really good job. The plastic quality is actually really good. There's another reviewer on YouTube named Prime92, I believe, and he reviewed the because these are like the reason why it's a mix-up is because the only one that's actually from the Defensor style is the center one that's Hydrant, and the other ones are from the Stunticons, and that's who's that by? Fans Project, and the other one is by TFC. So that's essentially why they have two completely different sets here, but they did turn out really cool, and they're not that bad. I mean, they're super hollow, but they're pretty cool. So without further ado, we are going to get into the bot modes. So first off, in bot mode we have Hydrant. He's pretty big. He's actually, oh man, I'd say about 10 inches tall. They did a really good job though. He's actually really decent. The plastic is actually solid. He's not very hollow either. So if you look at him, the back, he's actually solid. The guy is completely solid. He stands well. He's got good feet. It's just they did a good job. It's very nice. So for articulation, let's see if we can kind of crank this up a little bit. Not really. There we go. Okay, so for articulation, he's got a knee bend, which gets you actually all the way to 90 degrees. You can't really see because this panel's here, but it does get you all the way to 90 degrees. His legs will go all the way out to here. So full Van Damme splits. He does have a faux ankle tilt. It's not actually an ankle tilt, but he does have an ankle tilt. Then there is a waist swivel actually. If you can see, I keep on getting my hand in the light. If you can see right there, there's a waist swivel right there. It's hindered because of this guy. I put the ladder on the back just because I think it looks great. But if you pop that off, he's got more of a waist swivel. So the other leg is exactly the same, nothing different. The arms, though, they're a little funky. I mean, it's a KO, so they're not the best things in the world. This piece right here, if I can get this to go up, this piece is, I don't believe that's supposed to do that. I wish it would lock in, but it doesn't. But you can bend that down like that, and then it's not nearly as bad. It actually holds pretty well for that part of it. But they do articulate all the way out. So just like that, all the way out. They bend. They get a 90. So that's cool. They rotate all the way around. And the hands don't move. They have nothing. But that's pretty much it. He's got decent articulation actually for a KO. The head though is stationary. It doesn't move at all. A couple of them are like that. But the head sculpt is actually pretty darn cool. It looks like they did a good job knocking off the TFC one, because it's actually really decent. The paint is good too. They actually have quite a bit of paint on here. There's paint on the arms. There's some paint down below on the legs, just right in here. On the crotch, there's a little bit of paint in there. They have it on his breastplate. The face is actually painted quite well as well. So it's really not that bad. They did a decent job. The back is kind of empty. There's nothing going on really. You can see the front of the fire truck right there, and then the head is just so neatly tucked away in there. But other than that, it's really good. I've seen a lot of people transform this because I think this is the hip skirt for the fully combined mode. But I like using that for his bot mode as well. And then also you get those nice looking feet instead of the red ones. They're, I believe, just supposed to be his heels because they don't articulate. And looks a lot better. But that is it for Hydrant. Oh, he also has a gun. He has that accessory and then the ladder over here as well. The ladder actually does extend, but we'll get to that in the vehicle mode. So that's it for Hydrant. Okay, so this is their Hydrant, and he is my favorite by far. He looks really, really good in vehicle mode. Let's turn this way so you can see the front end in the light. Yeah, just great. They did a really good job. The paint is good. It's really good. There's a little bit of parts forming on here. This panel right here is actually a parts forming panel. But other than that, I mean, he is fantastic. The back end is really cool. The way they did that with his feet, they make him kind of look like they're ladders or doors or whatnot. But the color breakup's really cool too. They have the silver. I mean, it's not the best paint in the world, but it looks really, really good. And with a set this price, it makes sense to actually do a little bit of work on it. It's not a big deal. For $75 total from, you know, Japan or China, it's not that bad. But the really cool thing is that unlike the maybe I don't even know if Hasbro's does it, but I don't think theirs extends. But the ladder actually will extend all the way up. So it goes all the way up like that, and it articulates as well. And then his gun that he uses in robot mode and in combined mode looks like a hose, which what more can you ask for? It's just a really cool job they did here. I really enjoy him. So this, I am not sure who this is in the set. I know that as Dragstrip. I don't know what the TFC name is. But as far as his robot mode, I actually like it quite a bit. This is another one where the head sculpt is, unfortunately, completely stationary. That's just kind of the way they did it. I don't know if there was a reason, but that's how it is. So on the back side, it's pretty clean. You got a lot of hollowness down here. It's super hollow. But you're looking at it from the front, so it's not a big deal. He does stand pretty well. He gets a little wobbly, but it's not too bad. They got nice guns. The guns are actually pretty cool. I think they are exactly the same ones that came with the TFC knockoff for Uranos, which I have too. I'm going to do a size comparison with him later on once in the combined mode. So as far as articulation goes, we'll get the arm out of the way so we can do the leg. Leg goes out to there. We have a full, because of transformation, he can do all the way on a bend. Same thing on the other side, no ankle articulation here. These are just stationary ankles, nothing special. The head, like I said, I think already is stationary, nothing there. The arms go all the way out to there, and he has an elbow bend. And actually, once we get the gun out, let me see if I can get that out of there without breaking the gun. The plastic on the guns are kind of flimsy, but he has a full wrist swivel, and he has a little bit of a, you know, well, it's because of transformation, but he has some type of I guess you can call that like a wrist bend. I don't know. It's not the most ideal looking wristband, especially since the arm ends up being so hollow like that. But other than that, I mean, for as cheap as this set is, he's actually pretty darn cool. A lot of fun to transform. He's really easy. I've heard a lot of people complain about the original Causality set from, I believe it's Fans Project. This is, yeah, I think I said TFC earlier, but these are Fans Project based on their not Motormaster, but Menasor. And these are actually really good. The arms both have the same articulation. Oh, you actually have an upper bicep swivel too, which is cool. You can't see it because it really, Really doesn't break up the mold because that's just how the mold is. But other than that, he's actually pretty decent. He's nice. They did a good job. They have a little bit of paint on the legs. There's some paint on the arms. The paint right here is pretty dodgy. You have a cool police logo right there. I think some of these were actually painted prior to the changing them from being a knockoff of Menasor to Defensor, because the police stuff that they added and the new color changes that they did are actually a lot better than the way they were painted previously. And you can see, like, right here, that's painted really, really badly. There's 2 spots that are like that, and that bums me out. But I'm probably going to end up doing, yeah, right here, both the same, on the same car. They're both they're both bad. But I'm probably going to do some painting on these. You know, I just kind of feel like it's worth it because they're a lot of fun, and I'd like to make them look a little bit better. But that is it for the knockoff Dragstrip. His articulation's pretty good, and he's actually fun to transform. So this is their Dragstrip in vehicle mode. He by far has the dodgiest paint. It's pretty bad, and then there's also a big crease that I can't get to close up right there. Other than that, he's actually pretty clean. The police logo on there is pretty good. The tires are painted well. The fenders are painted well. This police word right here, just word, is actually, I believe that's like a temple print. That's pretty good too. You can see the robot legs and that underneath there, whatnot, the hands. But he's actually pretty decent. He's kind of doesn't sit very well. He's kind of got a little bit of a funky, like, off-balanceness to him. I don't know if that's because of the way I transformed him or what. I think I kind of got him right there. But the one cool thing they did, in Prime 92, the other person I know who has reviews up with these figures, showed that if you put the gun over this, it kind of covers up that ugliness right there, which is really cool. So I don't know if that was on purpose or whatnot, but other than that, he's not bad. Just the paint up here is really, really dodgy. But other than that, on the front, it looks pretty good. Apparently, they had clear blue on the lights right here, and these are just painted, which is okay. I mean, that doesn't really add or detract that much from the figure itself. All in all, pretty decent. Alright, so this, I believe, is a knockoff of Wildrider, maybe? Not too sure, though, because he doesn't represent anything specific to me as far as the Defensor goes. But I know when they were doing this as the Menasor knockoff, he was supposed to be kind of touted as a Wildrider knockoff. But he's actually pretty cool too. The legs I don't like. I don't like the legs. They're super hollow, just like all of them. But this mechanism right here, it looks like it was built to lock, but it doesn't lock into place. However, the knee is okay. It bends fine, even though that doesn't lock into place super well. So that actually will continue with the leg articulation. So legs, due to transformation, like all the other ones, because they all fold. They're like kind of shell formers. They fold up onto the body parts. And this one has a large amount of articulation. You get that out of the way, and you can get like way more than 90 degrees. They go all the way out. No, they don't. The sculpt stops it, but that's kind of more than you'd really ever need. And you really can't even articulate. Oh, you can articulate his feet to look good. That's cool. But yeah, that's really nice. I like that they did that. So the feet also are actually pretty dynamic. They're on this like ball peg, and they will slide literally in and out. And you can do some pretty cool stuff with them. They have a heel and a front toe, and they articulate together, which is really, really good. They work well. The other leg is identical, same thing. There's absolutely no difference. So up to the arms, they go all the way up like this. They are kind of loose. You know, I mean, you can see it. They're kind of loose. They do also have a upper bicep swivel. The elbow bends 90. Very nice, actually. It's not bad. His wrist is locked. Nothing. It's molded. I think someone called... No, I think because there's bicep swivel, they don't call that gorilla arm, but whatever. That's I'm going to call it gorilla arm for right now. This guy, though, the head is articulated. Yep, you can't see it because they have a gun in the way. But his head is absolutely articulated. It's on a ball peg, but you know what's cool is they did a good sculpt so you can look down and also look up. So that's really cool. He's got a little bit of back kibble. It's not bad though. He's got a good looking back. It cleans up decent, and that's not the worst in the world. You can even leave it up top too. It actually looks kind of cool when it's up top. You can't clip it in though because the head gets in the way, but you can leave it like that. Legs are a little hollow. Nothing terrible. And he does have a waist swivel too. It goes all the way around, even though it doesn't. I mean, obviously it doesn't have to because it's not anatomically correct, but it does look good and it's extremely functional. The paint's good too. I mean, look at that's the police logos. I mean, it looks terrible right here. It's painted pretty poorly on that one. But I mean, you can, for what the price is, you can just say, oh well, they were in a battle or something like that. Everywhere else, the paint's actually pretty decent on him. Up on the face, the face sculpt is actually pretty good. It doesn't look bad. It's actually nice, and they all have some level of light piping too, which is, adds a little bit of fun when you got them on the shelf if there's some light hitting them from the back. But that is it for not Wildrider, and okay. This is their Wildrider, I believe, in his vehicle mode. He's actually got the coolest color scheme. He's got the purple and the yellow, and the painting is actually done really well on here. It looks really good. They did a good job. The rims are all painted well, which is more you can say for a lot of the Combiner Wars ones. He rolls well, kind of well. And then the underbody, just like on their, I think, Brakeneck, I think that's the name I was using, he has very minimal kibble as well. It's almost impossible to tell that he's a robot, which is cool. They did a good job with that. He also is one of the only ones aside from their Dragstrip who has the ability to store weapons on the top of him, which is cool. There's no other spot on him. I thought that was one inside of there, but that you can't. There's a little hole inside there, but you can't use that either. So that's the only spot he's got. But at least they were able to do that. Other than that, he is very cool, and I actually like him a lot. Okay, so for this guy, which I'm not even sure what he would be in relation to the entire team, he's my least favorite one, so I'm really not too worried about it anyways. He's decent, but he's pretty hollow. The backside of him is just crap. But that's, I mean, it is what it is. It's a $70 combiner from China. It's not going to be anything amazing. But to do articulation, this is him all the way out. Legs bend over 90 because of just like all the other ones. That's the way they transform. So that's why. He has no ankle articulation except for he's got a little bit of a bend here, but that's because of transformation as well. I don't think that was anything they were trying to do for design-wise. Super hollow on the back. He has a waist swivel. Yes, he does. He has a waist swivel. I mean, it articulates more than it actually has to, but, I mean, that's fine. The arms go all the way up like this, and they do have a, for the transformation's sake, they have it's like a swivel in here, and then they're on a ball here. I hate the fact that this is wide open. That's, I think, an issue that they made. I don't know why. Just the way it is. I mean, I guess that's just sometimes they make mistakes like that. The head doesn't move at all, except for maybe forward and back. Yeah, forward and back, and that's only because of the fact that that's how he transforms. And I think that's about it. And this is the one that I don't know his name to. But he actually has the best paint, except for the police logo's upside down. Oh boy, that's the only side that's like that. This side is the right side, the right way up. But he's pretty cool. He rolls fine, just like the other ones. He looks like a robot, like the Dragstrip. That's the part that I was talking about, how the arms fold up. It's smart, but it's terrible. I can't stand that. But other than that, he's okay. Just decent. The paint's okay. You actually can see through here, and I don't know if that was because like they thought it looked cool, like it was like aerodynamic or something. But yeah, that's not very cool. The back end of him looks good though. The paint's really cool. They did a good job with that. But that's about it. I like him. I just don't like him very much compared to the other ones. I think he's nowhere near as good as the other 4, especially Hydrant. Hydrant's the most impressive, but yeah, he's just not very good. This, I think, would be Wildrider, Brakeneck, maybe, I think. I'm not really sure. They don't have any names, as far as I can tell, and if they did, they're on a card that came with them, and it's in Chinese. So I have no idea. But he has the exact same articulation as the Wildrider figure, because they actually share the exact same mold. If we pull him up here, you can see they're actually identical. They're both the exact same mold, except for the shell. That's pretty much the only difference, and it suits him a lot better. He's got a lot of chunks hanging off, but, you know, I mean, it is what it is. But his articulation's identical. So just to run through it real quick so you can see that there's no hindrance. He has the same issue with limitation right there. The knees do the same 90. He has the cool ankles and the nice feet, just like the Wildrider. The Wildrider mold. He has less than 90, and I think the Wildrider... Nope, he does 90. Okay, there we go. Just didn't want to go at first. They're on a sliding mechanism, so that's why. Okay, so he has the full pivoting head, same thing. The arms are just as loose, but they do go all the way up to there. They just don't hold. Waist swivel, same deal. So, other than that, other than the fact that these are loose, he's actually a pretty cool figure. Not too bad at all. If you can see, he's got a cool face sculpt too, and the light piping. You can kind of see when I move my hand. Very cool though. I like him a lot. The paint's good too. It's not bad at all, and the black on here and this symbol and the blue down here are actually pretty good. The only spot I have an issue is right here. There's a scuff, and I'm pretty sure that's from shipping, not from the actual manufacturing. These are cool too. They did a really good job with the lights on both the cars that have the police lights. They get the red and the blue translucent plastic, but they look really cool. Okay, and that is it for him. So here is Brakeneck in his vehicle mode, and he's pretty cool. They have some dodgy paint on the windows and whatnot, but other than that, he's painted pretty well. The police logo is off-center, but he looks pretty good. The wheels actually do all roll. He doesn't look much like a robot underneath because of the way they have the legs done. The combiner port's clearly visible in the back. But other than that, he's pretty decent. He's got a decent vehicle mode. Here is the all-important size comparison. I'm only going to compare Hydrant because he's the only one that really is all that cool. He's the best one out of all of them. He is pretty much the same height as MP10, like all the way up to the antennas. And he is actually, I'd say, weight-wise, MP10 is just a little bit heavier than him. He's the Hasbro version. He's got the diecast in the feet still, and maybe there is some diecast in his chest, but he's got no diecast, so that's actually saying quite a bit. I mean, yeah, he's blocky, but that's some heavy plastic for that to be that strong. That's the only robot comparison I'm going to do. These guys are kind of a hassle to transform, so I just I got all the other ones transformed into cars and remember to do robot comparisons. So this is going to be the only one. But I mean, you get the gist. The other ones went up to about here. So they're a little bit taller than your MP cars. And I'll see if I can get another one and do a comparison in the end. But that's the robot comparison for just Hydrant and MP10. That's hopefully all I'm going to do. Just because I just want to get the point across how freaking big these guys are. And you'll see it again when we do the combined mode comparison. And there is Hydrant with MP10. And I don't think that works too bad either. He's actually a pretty decent size in comparison. Yet again, like with the robot mode, I'm probably only going to do this comparison only because it's the one that makes the most sense. He's the best figure. And he actually scales pretty darn good. I mean, he's a little, I guess you could say he's a little small, but all in all, for what he is, he actually looks pretty good. This one right here has a deformed combiner port, so it's kind of funky. Oh, I got him right away that time. Well, that's pretty cool. And then this guy, let's see if I can get him. Yeah, right in. Cool. Alright, so that's how tall he is. Wow. Okay. This is my first time combining him. And he's quite large. So I'm going to put one of the arms on. And I'm going to have to put it on and then show you guys after I get it on. Okay. That one's on. That was pretty easy. And this one is not as easy. Okay. Let's see if I can't get him to be a little bit more stable. One of the legs, I think, is not in all the way. Something a little fun. Oh, that probably would help. Okay. And I'm not going to throw the ladder on just because it's going to be out of the frame of the area that I have. But that is him. And he is very, very tall. He is huge. Oh, wow. Okay, so I'm going to do my best to go over some of the articulation really quick before I do some comparisons in size. I just don't want to lose anything as far as my camera is concerned. So he has no knee articulation. They don't articulate at all. They're solid. The legs do go out, but not much. They have this chunk of plastic up here that's pretty close to his torso. The arms, let's see, the arms go out to about right there, and he's actually really sturdy. And he holds his arms up there pretty good. They're just friction joints. The arms are just like the Combiner Wars. I'm only doing this in one hand, and I don't want to take the chance of him toppling off on my desk. So that's about as far as I'm comfortable going. I don't want him to fall. His head has no articulation. It's just set in one spot. The head sculpt is actually pretty cool, though. Let's see if we can get that a little bit closer so you guys can see. Yeah, the head sculpt's actually pretty cool. I mean, it looks like a happy Defensor, not really a Menasor. So I mean, I guess they're just going for Defensor. That's pretty much it. This arm gets the same amount of articulation, which is actually pretty good. And he's sturdy though. He's kind of doing the splits right now for me. I think one of the legs isn't completely in, but he's very big, and doing it on camera is actually quite difficult. I think though we'll just do some size comparisons so you guys can see how he stacks up against some of the other the big uns, and we'll see how that looks. Okay, so this is for the size. Don't mind my keyboard. I'm sorry. That wasn't even meant to ever be in the backdrop at all. But that's just how much space I have. So that, to give you an idea, I'm at the perfect eye level, and you can see he is less than an inch short of the top of Menasor or Devastator. Sorry. And there is the OS aerial bots. I haven't done any paint jobs on him yet. I plan on it. He's holding his gun though, holds it like a champ, and he actually has knee articulation. He bends at the knees. I think I'm gonna do a review of him. I wasn't going to because Ben's Collectibles already has one up, but I think I'm gonna do a review of him as well, just to be, you know, brutally honest. They're really cool. They're huge, so that's cool in its own right. But as you can see, I mean, he's actually not thin either. Neither of them are thin. They both fit really, really well with Devastator. He's huge, and they're huge. And, I mean, of course, they're not masterpiece quality, but they're shelf pieces. That's what I'm using them for. So, final thoughts on this guy. I would probably say go for it. If you are into big combiners and you are okay with the fact that he may not be the best quality, which, I mean, he isn't bad, I would say go for it. He's pretty fun. I combined him for the first time on camera, but I was fooling around with the individual bots today, and like, they're hollow. Like this right here is the back of the legs. They're hollow as hell. But on the shelf, I mean, if you can tell me that looks too bad to spend $75 on, I mean, you have some pretty high standards, my friend. I really, really enjoy him. I've been having a lot of fun playing around, And I would actually honestly suggest someone going out and picking him up. If you are into larger combiners and you have a CW Devastator and you want to see some other massive combiners sitting right next to him, then this is pretty much the only option. Even the ones that are close to $600 we're talking some serious cash here. And this is a great option when you don't want to spend that much money and you just want to have something that looks really cool. I got mine from Sir Toys. I haven't seen, well, maybe I have seen this up on eBay as well. The Sir Toys, like I said before many times throughout the video, it's $75 shipped. You really can't beat that, and his service is phenomenal. For what you get, you can't beat it. He packages them really well, and he's smart enough to send them without the actual packaging they come with, so it keeps the shipping low. So, final thoughts completely, ending it all. If you are into them, go get it. Don't hesitate. It's totally worth it. I would do it again if I had the chance. It was $75 well spent, and I would honestly suggest also getting the TFC Uranos oversized one too. They both go really well with Devastator. Just one quick final pan of this dude so you can just see how big he is. Man, that's cool. Alright guys, this is Tom. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy. If you like it, please subscribe and share the video. Just getting started doing some reviews, and I just love Transformers as much as everybody else. So, thank you, and I hope you're able to pick this up from Sir Toys. He's a cool guy. He responds really quick to emails. So, yeah, good luck. Hit him up.